Why, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Nate Branco, here to present episode 15 of Showcase Central this evening. How are we doing, guys? Did everybody enjoy their weekend? Sure, it was a pretty solid one, I'll say. So, let's just say the All-Star break is almost here, and it's about that time where after the All-Star break, we start getting crank into the second half of the season. We start seeing teams making some big-time pushes towards the playoffs in October because that's when it gets real fun. I can't wait. This should be fun. And let me tell you, the episode that we got here today, it's going to be real action-packed. I'm actually wearing the Red Sox cap because, let's be real, this weekend was extra sweet because they shit all over the Yankees. That was great. A nice, beautiful 4-game sweep. It was awesome. But, hey, maybe they keep something going. I know they got the Nationals tonight. And the Nationals are actually not too bad this year. With a young lineup that they have, maybe this is the type, and they're actually performing pretty well. Let's see what they do going forward. But, I mean, hey, now that we're talking about this, we might as well get right to it. We'll talk about the SOX. We're going to talk about the biggest strength for the playoff contenders, what I think. And then, we got our DraftKings lock of the day. So, you know what? Let's do this. Let's talk about the weekend. Let's talk about the Sox shitting on the Yankees. And let me just say, this was pretty sweet. This was pretty sweet because the young arms actually looked pretty well. And I'm speaking guys like Jake Bennett, Peyton Tolley, Connolly Early, and even Sonny Gray last night with his 9K performance. That was awesome. I was watching the game, and let me just tell you guys, I got scared towards the very end because freaking Chapman and an error by Willie Abreu literally almost ruined it. It was shitty, it was scary, but hey, they got that walk-off by Jarren Duran, so that was pretty cool. Let me tell you guys, with this sweep, it actually makes the Red Sox 4.5 games behind the third place spot in the division. Actually, no, wait, I'm sorry. 4.5 games behind the third place in the wild card. How insane is that? I mean, let me tell you this right now. The AL is so mid that it's actually really horrible. It makes the NL like the straight up best division, the best league in baseball. It pretty much has been all year. And they're even 2 games out of the third place in the AL East. That tells you that Toronto and Baltimore are not playing their best baseball, and they actually really haven't all season. I don't know. Maybe it's just the rut that they've been in the past week or two, but they ain't playing the best. It's the Yankees and the Rays division to take, let's be real. But if anything, you look at the Rays, you look at the Yankees, the Guardians, the White Sox, they're the only American League teams that you can probably take seriously like right now. Because you look at the AL Central, right? You have the Tigers, the Twins, the Royals, the Guardians, and the White Sox. I know the past few years it's been the Guardians taking over and all that, but this year may not be the case because you have a surprising team like the White Sox who actually are exciting and young too. Their pitching's like hit or miss, but they actually look good. They're actually taking it to Cleveland, which is crazy to say. But Cleveland's definitely not running away with that division. You think about Cleveland from last year. Any of you guys remember when they went through an 11-game freaking streak? But what I mean by that is when they had 11, 11 games behind the first place Detroit Tigers. And what happened in September? They absolutely went through September just like that, racking up wins like crazy. Next thing you know, they're first place. And what happened to Detroit? See you later. They got exited, they got booted, and next thing you know, Cleveland's making a nice little jump in the playoffs. Steven Vogt won Manager of the Year. The rest was history. But honestly, that's the only thing that the only teams that I can actually think of that you could take seriously, and that's 4 out of 15. That's sad, man. The 11 other teams, I don't know what's wrong with them, but it's just really shitty look on the league, let's be real. Despite Tampa Bay and New York taking over the division, right? Can we actually see the Sox make an unexpected push to the playoffs in the second half of the season after that sweep? I mean, in my honest opinion, I don't know. I don't really see it. They have been kind of a bottom of the barrel in the league. I mean, look at that series loss that they had to Colorado. Like, what the hell? And Colorado is literally a bottom feeder team in the MLB. Just ridiculous, man. But honestly, I don't see this lasting long. I mean, it's the Red Sox. The only thing that actually has been keeping them afloat is their pitching, but their hitting, not so much, man. It sucks to see. It sucks to see the downfall from last year compared to this year. That just falls on front office, but at the same time, it also falls on the players too. So I'm not just gonna straight up shit on the front office. It just goes to show just what's going on, man. But I do give them major credit from last night because that was awesome. But we'll see what goes on moving forward, man. We'll see. I would like to talk about the biggest strengths for playoff contenders. I would like to talk about what each playoff contender has in their arsenal that's the best play for them going into the playoffs and beyond, because this is something that could potentially win them a World Series. What they have, especially going into a series, what can actually get them in a big playoff boost, what can take them far, and so on. So let's talk with the World Series champions, Los Angeles Dodgers. Their strength, man, is the rotational depth, because you look at them, Ohtani, Yamamoto, and especially a Justin Robolowski, who's actually been a major surprise for them this year. Easily their top 3 pitchers all year. Snell has only had 1 start all year. You had Tyler Glasnow that actually has had 7, but they've been injured. You've barely seen them. Roki Sasaki, that man is too inconsistent. He sucks. I don't know what they were thinking investing their money into him. But honestly, if it ain't him, I think it'd be somebody like an Eric Lauer that's actually been one of their veterans that's been in the rotational since they got him. He can easily slide right in there. Roki Sasaki, I could see him being either not in the playoff roster, depending on what goes on the second half of the season, or he's just going to end up a bullpen guy. But having guys like, imagine having Snell and Glasnow back in the rotational by the playoffs. That's something I could see. I could see the Dodgers rolling with Ohtani, Yamamoto, Robolowski. Now that I think about it, Robolowski could end up in the bullpen. As good as he's been all year, I could see Dave Roberts throwing him in the bullpen. But I mean, we'll see with that. They could end up using him. Robolowski. You can have Snell, Glasnow. You can roll with a 6-man, especially Lauer in there too. I don't see anything wrong with 6-man rotation, but that depends on what the team wants to do. The Dodgers seem to course, have luck with who they want to throw in the rotation, and especially look, they won 2 straight World Series. But I mean, I don't think it matters what the heck they're gonna do. But that's just their recipe, man. That's their recipe for what wins you championships, you know? Let's talk about the Braves. The Braves' strength, honestly, it's their bullpen. Their bullpen has actually looked pretty stellar all year, man. Raciel Iglesias, he's actually their main closer. Oh, he has a 1.48 ERA. He has 15 saves, 15 for 15. Then you got one of their big signings they got all the winter, which was Robert Suarez. He has a 0.56 ERA. He is not the closer that he was last year when he had 30 saves for the Padres. He's more of a setup man now, but he's actually still doing pretty well for the Atlanta Braves. Then you got Dylan Lee with a 1.0 ERA. And then you have rookie Didier Fuentes with a 2.48. No, I'm sorry, 2.45 ERA. And that back end of the bullpen, those four, they've been killing it. You can see where Atlanta's getting their W's from. You can tell that they rely on the back end of the bullpen, especially with a rotation that's kind of struggling a little bit without Strider. But hey, what wins you games, man? The bullpen. It's pretty sweet. The Brewers, their strength, man, it's their lineup. They have a good lineup, man. Contreras, Bowers, Terang, Churio. That is the meat of the lineup right there, man. That meat of the order can get it done. They are clutch, man. Those are the hitters that you want in your lineup, especially when it comes to the postseason. Milwaukee, I know, was a bit of a letdown last year, but I mean, hey, this is a whole new ball game, man. They got Jacob Mizorowski out there pitching. They got Kyle Harrison, which is a solid number 2. And then you have, of course, another great pitcher who's been awesome this year. He has a 10-1 record and an ERA in the 2s. His name is Aaron Ashby. That dude's been awesome. Those 3, I think that's a solid 3 that you want starting all 3 games in a series, whether it's a wild card or even a divisional series. It does not matter. Those 3 right there, I think that should get you through any of those series. Maybe even a sweep. But hey, who knows? Am I right? The Phillies, the team that will be hosting the 2026 All-Star Game. Their strength, man, honestly, it's Christopher Sanchez and it's Kyle Schwarber, man. Like, Sanchez, 93, 2.13 ERA, 127 Ks, which is 3rd in Major League Baseball. That's Cy Young numbers right there, man. Then you got Kyle Schwarber, who's on a fresh, brand new contract. He's been killing it. He's already the first to 30 home runs. He's got a 2.56 average, 54 RBIs, and an OPS of 962. Aside from Sanchez, I will say this. He has a solid number 2 and a veteran pitcher with Zach Wheeler. Zach Wheeler, in my opinion, I could see that dude being a future Hall of Famer. He is brilliant. He is that guy that you want on the mound in a World Series game. He gets it done. He knows how to get through a lineup. Wheeler and Sanchez can be the ultimate 1-2 punch for the playoffs. Watch out, playoff teams that goes through Philadelphia. And we're going to go to Schwarber real quick. Not only Schwarber, but honestly, he has a great supporting cast aside from him. Of course, you got Bryce Harper, Alec Boehm, Trey Turner. That's it, man. You know what? That's actually solid. Those 4 hitters right there, man. I could see them mashing it. We've seen it before. We've seen them mash it in the playoffs. They are all good together, you know? But hey, the second half, the playoffs, whole different stretch. We'll see what happens, but that is who I think actually has been their solid pieces all season, especially so far. The St. Louis Cardinals, their strength, the top of the lineup. By the top of the lineup, let's go through this. J.J. Weatherholt, rookie second baseman, shortstop, whatever. Alec Burleson, Ivan Herrera, and Jordan Walker, the breakout star, in my opinion. Those are the top 4 hitters in their lineup. All those guys are having good numbers on the season, and the Cardinals are top 5 in MLB and OPS. And that's just lineup spots 1 through 4. That tells you something right there. The Cardinals this year, they are so underrated. I'm going to be the first to tell you right now. The St. Louis Cardinals, I wrote them off. I really did. That is a team right there that I expected them to be at the bottom of the barrel. I expected them to be dead last in the league, like Colorado Rockies territory, last in the NL Central. I wrote them off bad. But hey, they are making me look like a fool right now because they are third place with a record above 500. Like, as of right now, they'd be making the playoffs. They've been that good this year. Especially, I know they don't have Lars Nootbaar back yet. Wait, they might already have him back. But Lars Nootbaar, with his power, that makes it so much better. And I know they don't have Nolan Gorman or even Victor Scott because they're down in the minors. But even if you want to put Lars Nootbaar in there, he's going to start to heat up eventually. Cardinals is a team I could actually kind of see being a top 3 wild card. I could see that happening. But I mean, that would be pretty sweet to see a young team like that in the playoffs. It really would. The Cubs, for their strength, their defense. Defense, that is something that you need in the playoffs to keep your team afloat. It's not just the bats, you gotta keep the hitters in check. Be like, hey, watch out for me, PCA, Dansby Swanson, Nico Horner, they are elite in the defense category. Those 3 are at least 98th through 100th percentile in defense. And it actually has gotten them out of pitching situations because, let's be real, the Cubs have had probably one of the most shakiest pitching situations all year because of injuries, because of relief pitchers being starting pitchers. You just don't know what performance you're going to get out of them. And the Cubs, as of right now, they are also a wild card team, but don't count them out because they could be a team that actually sneaks up to Milwaukee in the division in the NL Central. That NL Central has been pretty solid all year. And honestly, the Cubs, their pitching will come around. The bats especially come around too. But just watch out for that team as a whole. Watch out for that team as a whole. Believe it or not, another team, the Washington Nationals. I know. This is a team that has not made the playoffs since they won the World Series in 2019. They have not had one appearance. In between those years, they let stars like Trey Turner go. They have let Juan Soto go. They've let Patrick Corbin, Steven Strasburg, Max Scherzer. It's just been crazy. The Nationals have been through hell. But they've actually been solid this year, I will say. Their strength has been the offense. James Wood has been balling this year. He has a .258 average, 20 homers, 49 RBIs, and an OPS of 887. Let's just say that's a guy we will probably see in the home run derby. He's going to mash. You already know. CJ Abrams, another teammate of his, actually a teammate of his that's also been balling and mashing. He has an average of 275, 17 home runs, 57 RBIs, and .865 OPS. CJ Abrams and James Wood, we both may see them, actually, both of those guys, we may see them in the All-Star game. I hope so because they sure as hell deserve it. Fun fact about the Nationals, guys. The Nationals lead the league in RBIs, and they are second in stolen bases. That tells you right there, they are aggressive, they are young, they are hungry. That you have guys like K-Bear Ruiz, you got Dylan Cruz, you have Curtis Mead. Those guys are coming around. Those kids are coming around. I will not count out the Nationals as a disgrace as they have been the past few years ever since the World Series run. Let's talk about the Padres. They are pretty much just like the Atlanta Braves, but they are stuck in second place in the NL West behind the Dodgers. Their strength is the bullpen. Mason Miller having a historic closer season. He has 21 saves, 0.79 ERA, 66 Ks, and a whip of 0.79. And let's be real, he has a great supporting cast. Jason Adam, Wandy Peralta, Bradley Rodriguez, and Adrian Morejon. Those guys have been helping Mason Miller. They actually are great back end of the bullpen for the Dodgers. They have been doing well. I can see that bullpen, along with the Braves, I can see them going through mowing guys down through in the lineup. That will actually take them to a W, get some wins in the series. The Padres, maybe we could see a nice little run, but if anything, it can't be just the bullpen, man. And it can't just be the starting pitching. It also has to be the bats. The bats have to wake up. Tatis, Merrill, Machado, everyone in that lineup, they got to wake up. The Padres can be a serious threat towards the playoffs, but the bullpen, as of right now, that's their biggest strength. We're going to move on to the American League. Sadly, there isn't a lot. There isn't a lot of teams. Like I said before, the American League doesn't really have much threats in the playoff that would be more intimidating to other teams in this type of situation. I got 4 listed, and it's pretty much the ones I was just speaking about before. So we're going to start with the Yankees. So their strength is the power. Judge, Rice, Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt, I swear, is on the fountain of youth because look at him. That dude is going into his, almost 40s? And he's killing it. Like, where is this coming from, man? It's just crazy. You can also, honestly, you can throw in Cody Bellinger in there too, because you can tell he's trying to find his stride again. He's actually looking good. He looks solid this year. And it's nice. It's nice to see. I've always been a Bellinger guy. We love a good belly bomb, man. The Yankees lead the MLB in home runs with 121, and they are 5th in the league in RBIs. Excuse me. With 391. That is some serious power right there, man. That's some serious power that is going to mow down pitchers in the playoffs and just even regular season in general, man. Like, don't count out New York, man. Just don't. Who knows, maybe as much as most MLB fans hate this, because I know most MLB fans hate the Yankees, but who knows? Maybe we see a World Series title. I don't want to see it, but who knows? We'll see what goes on in the second half of the season. Let's see if they can get past Tampa Bay first. Let's be real. The Tampa Bay Rays, speaking of them, their strength, they like to win at home Because, I mean, shoot, look at Shane McClanahan. That man pitches great at home. He has an ERA in the twos, 2.05 ERA. And then you have hitters such as Yandy Diaz and Junior Caminero. They hit bombs at the Trop. But, like, yeah, they do great at home. But when it comes to away, they kind of struggle a little bit. But, I mean, hey, some teams get into that strut. You know, they get out of it. Some may don't. You know, you have teams that play better at home and are shitty on the road, and then, you know, vice versa. But, I mean, maybe the Rays turn it around. But the Rays have actually, since they are back in the Trop for the first time since that whole Hurricane Milton situation, they are sure telling the fans, we're back home. Enjoy us while we're here, you know? We're what's that saying? We're back, you know? They're just entertaining their fans while they're home. So I mean, that's a great strength right there, man. The Chicago White Sox, just like the Yankees, man. Just like the Yankees. Power, their strength. Murakami, Benintendi, Miguel Vargas, Colson Montgomery, they have hit nukes all year, and they are on pace for the fourth highest in team history, and their pace is 227 home runs. Let that sink in. Those four guys that I had just mentioned, right? They are youngsters. Like, those are guys that are practically, like, under 40. Crazy. They are a surprise team. They're a shocker to everybody. And this is a team that does not have really much payroll in the MLB. And they are saying, like, hey, we don't need a lot of, we may not have the best payroll, but look what we're doing. It's nice to see a team like that. It's the Oakland A's are actually the Las Vegas A's are actually kind of proving that right now. They, I know, are kind of borderline 500, but with the young kids that they have, they sure are showing their power. It's really nice to see. But they are actually first place in the AL Central. Good for them, taking it to Cleveland. But I mean, like I said, a fun team to watch week to week, and we'll see what happens second half of the stretch. I mentioned the Guardians. Let's talk about them real quick. The very last team that I have over here. Their strength. This maybe, just maybe, could take them to a World Series appearance. They have been close but no cigar. Maybe this takes them to the World Series for the first time in 10 years. Their rotation and their bullpen. Cleveland is top 10 in pitching with a combined ERA of 3.76. And they have 29 saves. Also have 30 quality starts. Cade Smith, their closer, leads MLB in saves with 26. I was shocked when I saw that. I was like, whoa. I was like, this dude's for real. I remember him in last year's postseason. He was good. And then he got, he was named the full-on closer, and I was just like, you know what, good for him. I'm like, he's proven himself. Two pitchers that are actually pretty much proven themselves, man. Gavin Williams and Parker Messick. Two young kids, one of them being a rookie. Gavin Williams is pretty much looking like what Shane Bieber was for Cleveland. Those two guys, man, I could see them being in the All-Star game. And they sure as hell deserve it. Those are two guys, like I said earlier with Christopher Sanchez and Zach Wheeler, you start those two kids in a series, that's the ultimate 1-2 punch for Cleveland. And then, of course, you could see them carrying the rotation. You could definitely see that happening. Carry Tanner Bibby's ass, because he has not been that good. He has not been good this year at all. But I would like to see those two kids succeed going forward and into the future. They got really, really bright things going for them. And maybe, just maybe, we see Cleveland in the World Series. Stephen Vogt has something special going on over there in Cleveland. All right, and that was it for my biggest strengths for the AL and the NL. We are going to go straight up into the DraftKings Lock of the Day Nate edition. So, I just spoke about this guy, and we're going to roll with him. Parker Messick, I have him for 7 strikeouts and a Cleveland Guardians win. And then we are going to roll with rookie Gage Jump with 6 strikeouts. Gage Jump is from the Athletics. And I also have the Athletics winning. So, Messick, 7 Ks. Guardians win money line. Gage Jump, 6 Ks. And the A's win money line. Ladies and gentlemen, like and subscribe on this video. And subscribe to Showcase Central. I am out of here. So I will see you guys on Friday for another episode of Showcase Central. And I will see you guys with more content coming up soon. Ladies and gentlemen, you have yourselves a great day. Have a great week.